Welcome inside episode 471 of the Locked On Senators podcast. I'm Ross Levitan in the outskirts of enemy territory in Winnipeg, Manitoba, alongside Brandon Piller up in the Blue Mountains in Pilsy, while the Senators have been in Alberta just waiting to play a game. Tim Stützle has been added to the COVID-19 list.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. He's one of the players we were nervous about as he hadn't had it yet, but hopefully this game still goes on and the rest of the team can make it there because, Ross, we are so close to a Sens game. We cannot have it taken away from us now.
I've got a bee in my bonnet from this whole thing. So we'll get into that. But we also have a great interview to get into today. Young Carson Latimer. You guys are going to really enjoy this kid's energy. Just turned 19 years old. And yeah, he's not your typical teenager. Not shy at all. We get into his career growing up in BC, being traded in the WHL, and how he found out he was going to join the Senators organization. All that and more. This is the Locked On Senators podcast, your team every day.
Locked On Senators, your daily podcast on the Ottawa Senators. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Today is Wednesday, January 12th in Pilsy. Just when the Senators had their healthiest lineup, well, they didn't even get to use it.
Yeah, that's just the curse the Sens are under this year, Ross. And it's really too bad because Tim Stützle was really starting to feel comfortable as a centerman in the NHL. So you want to get as many reps as you can, and his line is back intact. And then this happens. So hopefully it's going to be interesting to see what DJ Smith decides here. I guess this means Adam Gaudette comes back into the picture, eh?
Yeah, best opportunity I think he could ever ask for.
Yeah, so this will be interesting to see how his third audition goes because the first two were not so great. So the Adam Gaudette show continues, but that does mean Tim Stützle will not be in the lineup, and he's going to miss a couple games too, which is the unfortunate part. They're finally got games back on the schedule, and Timmy's going to miss a few of them here.
Yeah, even though it's just a 5-day stretch on the COVID protocol, he will be unavailable for tomorrow night, Thursday night's game in Calgary, Saturday night's game in Edmonton before being eligible. Again, it's a home game. That's why I paused for a second, because do the Sens play home games anymore? Their last home game was a month ago yesterday, Pilsy.
Yeah.
Trivia time. I know everyone loves a little trivia, especially you, Pilsy. What was their last home game?
Tampa, 4-0 win.
Yes, that feels like 35 years
Brady
ago.
Tkachuk hat-trick, Anton Forsberg shutout. Let's go.
Yeah, it may as well have been Martin Prusak. That's how long ago it was in goal there for the Ottawa Senators. But on the schedule right now, the Buffalo Sabres coming to Ottawa on January 18th. Ooh. But right now, all focus is on the Calgary Flames, a team that's lost 3 games in a row after playing really good hockey all season long under Coach Daryl Sutter. The Senators had their success against Calgary last year, so should be a good matchup. Revenge game on deck for Erica Branson as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Goody's going to want to get back at the Sens here. But yeah, this is a tough task, Ross. This Flames team under Daryl Sutter now is a whole different animal. And we'll dive deeper into it tomorrow with finally we get a game preview podcast. And hey, we'll be doing it from the same office as I'm heading to Winnipeg bright and early tomorrow morning.
Yes, so scheduling note, we're going to record on my lunch break tomorrow, so expect tomorrow's episode to drop around 2 p.m., but we've got lots of great content for you this week already with Angus Crookshank, Carson Latimer, and Sens Central Citizen Karam on yesterday's show. You can download the Locked On Senators podcast wherever you get yours, including on YouTube. We'd really appreciate it if you subscribe and like there. Click the thumbs up. It goes a long way with the algorithm, and then you'll get notifications when we go live, like we will tomorrow following the Senators game. Pilsy, the postcast will be back.
And this is an in-person postcast. It's been a while since, or we've never done one of those because we didn't do one for the home opener. So yeah, this will be the first in-person postcast. And man, am I fired up to talk about Sens hockey and to get to sit on the couch and watch the game with you, buddy.
Yes, it's going to be a hell of a time before we make our pilgrimage down to the palace on the prairies. Couple P's in that sentence. We're gonna even get to see Johnny Gin and Tyconic. So we're gonna have a ton of fun. We're also out on the other side of the interview. I want to get into a couple articles from The Athletic. One, Corey Pronman. This is an absolute monster article ranking the top 160 prospects who are not even prospects, under 23.
Under 23, yeah.
So lots of these guys are already in the National Hockey League. How many Senators made the list? Of course, you got Brady, Stützle, Norris, Pinto, Sanderson, Ridley, Gregg, Formanton. Like, there's tons of guys who qualify. But does Corey respect them as much as you and I might? One tease I'll give, he's got Pinto ahead of Cole Caulfield. I wonder what other genius made that statement before Caulfield really had his NHL success, as that feels long ago as well. Pillsy, let's get to the interview right away, though, because I think people are really going to appreciate it. And I appreciate you for this because you had a veteran move that I didn't. We recorded Angus Crookshank an hour before Carson Latimer, and you knew this was going to be on YouTube, so you changed. I'm wearing the exact same shirt, so people are going to be like, this guy's wearing the same shirt 3 days in a row. What's going on?
Yeah. Usually I don't, not worried about that, but this time I was like, all right, it's Crooker Part 2. Lats is coming up. These are big interviews. I can't make that mistake. I got to make the wardrobe change. And yeah, definitely, you guys are going to love this interview with Carson Latimer. I mean, this is a kid. When he was drafted, I was excited about him. He had really good reviews. Even the online scouts didn't dump all over the Sens choice there. And he's a guy that can play with a lot of offense. And if you're not sure about that, ask the Prince Albert Raiders if they think he can play with some offense, because he has been on a heater since he joined them, and just a great kid to chat with, that's for sure.
An absolute beauty. So we're going to book that interview with him. But first, let's get into a word from one of our favorite sponsors. It's Primal Origin Oils. If you have a beard, like Pillsy and I, you got to get Primal. You heard that right. If you got beard, get Primal. If you or someone you care about has a beard, it needs to get Primal. Maybe you're that guy who has never considered the benefits of treating your beard with product. Well, Primal Origin Oils will stop the itch and make your beard look healthy and groomed. Their goal is to help others look good and live healthier lives through the use of natural oils. The products are free from harmful synthetic ingredients and with a low impact on our planet. Primal Origin Oils makes balms, oils, and whipped butter that are renowned for the best field products available for your beard. Check out their line at primaloriginoils.com to learn more about their beard care products. Just use our promo code LOCKEDON and you'll immediately get a 20% discount at checkout. We've got ours. You can see how smooth and fresh our beards look if you're watching on YouTube, and that is because of Primal Origin Oils. We know that every company claims to have the best, but Primal Origin Oils challenges you to compare their ingredients and their feel in beard. And then you'll make that call yourself. And we promise you'll see and feel the difference with Primal Origin Oil. Just remember the code LOCKEDON gets you 20% off at primaloriginoils.com. So use the promo code LOCKEDON at checkout for 20% off. It's primaloriginoils.com. All right, here he is from the Prince Albert Raiders, Senators prospect, Carson Latimer. All right, we now welcome a very special guest to the Locked On Senators podcast. Recent fourth-round pick for your Ottawa Senators in this past draft. It's Carson Latimer. If you're watching on YouTube, he's breaking in his draft day hat. What's going on, lads?
Well, not much, guys. It's good to be on. Yeah, good to break in the hat. Haven't thrown it on yet, so it feels good on the head.
Last day as an 18-year-old as well. What have you learned this year? What are you going to take with you going forward?
Oh, man, you can't take anything for granted these days, I guess, eh? Thankful to every day you're not locked in your room. So, yeah, just enjoy every moment, I think. Something we've all learned past, 15 years now? This?
Yeah, honestly, it seems like forever. But let's take it all the way back for real, though, Carson. And this is how we like to start off our interviews. And I'm interested to hear your story. When is it that you really fell in love with the game of hockey? You know, like you're introduced to it, you're into it, your friends are doing it, you're doing it. But then when's the moment where you're like, I love this game and this is going to be a big part of my life going forward?
Yeah, probably it's funny enough, I got into the game, or my dad tried to get me into the game as soon as I was born. He was a huge hockey fan. So funny enough, he tried to throw the skates on me and take me out for a little public skate, but I just cried on the ice, fell over, laid on the ground. Guess I wasn't a huge fan when I was like 3 or 4. But
so the love wasn't there yet.
Love wasn't there, I guess, when I was before I could remember. But he was a huge beer league beauty, so he would. I'd always go watch his games. In the stands with my mom. So when I was like 5, 6, I wanted to get back into it, and that's from when I can remember. I've always loved the game, so it's from there, I think, was when it started, watching beer league hockey, watching my dad play. So that's what
growing up in Surrey, I'd imagine that the Canucks were the main squad you watched when you were young.
Oh, 100%. All birthday parties at the Canucks games.
Nice.
When I was young, yeah, it's a big Canucks fan. They're doing
so good. Who were some of the players growing up you loved watching?
Daniel Henrik, for sure. Kessler, easy. Burrows, Bieksa, Luongo, all the guys, all the squad. I had a Burrows.
You're with the Sens now. You got to mention Sammy Salo in there.
He got Burrows in there.
He got couple high fives and maybe a hug for Burrows, Phil?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, they had a sick squad growing up as well. Hey, I asked Crooker this the first time we had Angus Crookshank on the show.
Yeah.
I want to ask you as well. Who are you hopping on a line with? Daniel and Henrik or Marcus Naslund and Todd Bertuzzi? Who are you jumping on with?
Oh man, that's a hard one.
Or are you going to be a rat and hop out on the third line with Burrows? Or I guess Burrows was up at the Sens.
I think you got to go with Daniel and Henrik. I think that would be so cool to play with those guys. I mean,
easy way to get points, secondary assists. Hello.
I would just give it to them and just go stand in front of the net. I think that'd be my play with those guys. Those are they just got the twin sense going on all the time. So
yeah,
for sure.
So when they made it to the Stanley Cup final, you're like 8 years old. Like how important was their success into you being like, wow, I want to do this one day?
Oh, it was unreal to watch that run. I remember, I still remember actually the Stanley Cup final game. I was choked when they lost. I got so mad.
Can you confirm you weren't downtown?
I was going to say, how mad did you get?
No, I promise I did not rob any stores when I was 8 when the riot happened. I remember hearing about it, but no, I was in Aldergrove. I lived in Aldergrove at the time there, so I think I went outside and I actually played badminton or something. Like after the loss, I was so mad. Yeah, if you're playing badminton, you gotta be pretty mad, right?
Yeah,
badminton players out there, but
no offense.
That is exactly. Yeah. And now, speaking of growing up in BC, you spent a bunch of seasons at the Delta Hockey Academy.
Yeah.
I'm always interested to hear of Canadian spots like that. So, what was that experience like for you?
Oh, I love that place. Yeah. No, I spent 4 years there, right out of elementary school, right into grade 8. 2 years in Bantam and then 2 years in midget as well. They run a great program there. I don't know exactly because I know they have I think most kids play in the GTHL, I think on Ontario, right? So
yeah, definitely.
That league would be equivalent to our CSHL league, where we're more like sports school related, I guess, because our sports schools, all the good players used to go to sports schools. So it was unreal time. You know, they really they help you prepare for junior really well. We skate in the morning and go to class at the rink. Like it was just such a cool time, with all your buddies every day. I think it was definitely helped a lot in my development.
Obviously, it helps the experience when all 4 years you're well over a point per game. So you're just dominating on the ice. And the WHL, again, a little different than Ontario, where you're drafted at like 14 years old.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. Yeah, you're talking to scouts and agents from when you're just grade 9, grade 8. Like, it's crazy.
Right after your badminton game, you got to call the scout.
Oh man, literally, I was out. Just after the final there, I was already signed for signed. It's crazy. So
you got a little taste there after your 4th year at Delta. You got your first goal under your belt, and what was that like?
On his first shift, Ross.
No way.
First shift, first shot.
That's right off the bench. Right off the bench, or take us to the goal.
Oh man, it was. I don't know. I was freaking out, but I came on. There was a battle on the wall. I just came in. I think I hit somebody. And then went straight to the net, rebound, one hand on my stick, just whacked it. Just an absolute blooper goal, but I'll take it.
And Sally?
Oh yeah, just throw my hands right up in the air.
It was a good. I just watched the replay of it. Actually, it was a good sally, and that was with Ross. You won't like these, but when the Oil Kings had the black and neon green jerseys.
No,
you didn't like
the. I hate the
like
Dallas
them.
Stars
I like
ones.
them. Yeah, Ross doesn't like the Stars ones.
I like. Oh, you don't like? Come on, the Stars ones are good.
Oh,
yeah,
awful.
thank you, Carson. I mean, well, hey,
Awful.
green and black works with your scheme now with the Raiders, so
Yeah,
you're right
fair.
where you need to be.
Literally, yeah, exactly. No, so no, the guys always bug me about my celebration of that goal. I get my arms up. Just apparently, it's all I do. So
I need to see it like NHL '94 style. Where it's just like pumping it up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Going on, yeah.
Hey, you're probably shocked it happened. Like you said, it was a bit of a like bang bang play, and you'd only been on the ice for like 30 seconds. So
I know, funny enough, my buddy who I lived with, who I billeted with in Edmonton, he scored on his first shift. Both from Delta, midget, same team called up.
nice.
Hell yeah.
So crazy. Like his was a bit nicer though. He got a breakaway. So
Coach is pretty proud at that point, back at Delta.
oh yeah, he's pretty hyped up, I think. Yeah.
That's awesome. So then the next year you split. You played a little bit in Port Moody, in I'm assuming that's like junior A, basically, like right underneath.
It's actually junior B because the junior A was canceled too. So we
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's why you went down there.
You're just trying to find somewhere to play, eh?
I just wanted to play some hockey. I'd been sitting at home for like 16 months working out and skating. I just wanted to get some games in before.
I'm not letting this go, dude.
No, yeah.
Carson Latimer, noted badminton enthusiast.
Hey, why do you think he's got good hand-eye coordination?
Whoa.
Don't hate it.
Don't hate it. Helps the game.
Soft
Yeah.
hands. Soft
Yeah.
hands.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
So then the dub starts up and you guys are complete wagon, right? You're playing on a line with Dylan Genther. He's going 9th overall. So take us through what it was. And then you got Costa as well. You got 2 first rounders on your team right there. So what was the mood like going to the rink every day there?
Yeah, no losing. No losing there. We had a win-only attitude, and we were trying to get as many wins. I think we only lost 1 in regulation all year. So just a complete wagon, as you said.
22-1. I can confirm. That's ridiculous.
Wagon. Yeah, it was good. It was short and sweet. I mean, it felt like the season flew by, like 24 games, 23 games, something like that, 22 games, whatever it was. It was ridiculous, so fast, whirlwind. Like before the season started, I wasn't even thinking about the NHL draft or anything like that. I had 6 WHL games played. Like, I don't know if I might have a record for being drafted with the least amount of Western Hockey League games. I don't know if that's a thing, but yeah, what am I supposed to do, right? COVID, but everything happened so quickly, and I'm thankful for it now, but it's just crazy.
Well, we got to get into it then. And for people watching on YouTube, Carson Latimer is wearing his draft day hat. It looks amazing on you. Definitely the right team picked you. Look good, play good. So we're stoked about that. So, but this was a draft again, very different than in years past. So take us through your draft day experience. And what we usually like to ask with the recent draft picks is, did you have an kind of sense that the Sens were going to look at you? Like, had you interviewed with them, and did it seem like they were interested?
Yeah, I'd interviewed with them twice, or I think 3 times actually. So I knew they were interested. I didn't know for sure they're going to take me. They didn't necessarily tell me like, we're going to take you for sure, but I talked to a lot of teams that were kind of in the same boat as the Sens. So I was kind of like, when those teams would come up, I'd get a little bit more excited, like, because I don't know, some team might pick me who maybe I didn't talk to at all. So when they traded up, I was kind of like, I don't know, I had a kind of a sense. I was like, I just kind of leaned forward a bit, and I was with my family and friends, so it's pretty awesome. We were actually on Salt Spring Island in BC, so a little getaway for the draft. So just in some restaurant with a bunch of random people too. So
that's awesome.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah, it came up and just in shock pretty much, and I don't really remember the moment exactly. I got some videos of it, but just complete shock. It was amazing.
What kind of relationships, if any, do you have with guys already in the organization?
I didn't have many like before camp, obviously. Like I knew the guys, like I knew Ridley just because he played in the Western League, and
he's hilarious, man.
He is awesome. Yeah,
Must be a tough guy to play against. Cool.
I imagine. Yeah, he's we played against him this year so far. We handled Brandon pretty well. I think it was like 7-2. That's
There you go.
He's an awesome player. Like just plays hard, and I saw that. The funniest thing was I think Sokolov's comment on his Instagram post.
Yeah, good job not getting suspended.
It was 3 years in a row. First game of the year, he got suspended. We had him on afterwards. We're like, what's going on? He's like, I just want to see where the ref draws the line.
That's fair enough.
There's a great
get one out of the way.
We got to tell Carson, we'll send you the link to this clip afterwards, but he goes in front of the net, and he told us in our chat with him that he knows, I think it was Connor McLennan, maybe, but he just gets under his stick and he put it into like the 20th row. The stick just went absolutely flying. Anyways, hilarious moment. So you knew him from the WHL, but even still, like, you're looking at the Senators team, they had 10 draft picks in 2020, and then you join that. Like, how exciting is it coming to a team where there's so much young talent that's up and coming?
Oh man, just gives you so many guys to learn from. Like, going in there, as I said, I didn't know anyone personally, so kind of nervous, but one of the guys, I sat next to Mark Haslick in the room for the camp when we started making
another
camp.
dub kid,
and he was such an intimidating guy when I was 16.
Big kid.
I was up a few times against Calgary, and he is just an absolute beast. And I got to play with him on a line for most of the time I was in Ottawa. So
who's the third guy on that line?
Reinhardt.
Yeah, Cole Reinhardt.
What a good dub line. Love it.
We had a good Western League line, bunch of battlers. So we put in some work for sure.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. So your first experience at an NHL camp, again, it's a young team. Like, the top line, they're all 22 years old. They're like 3 years older than you. They're all up there. Like, what's your first impression seeing Brady Tkachuk, seeing Thomas Chabot, all these guys fly around?
Unbelievable.
I guess not Brady. Brady was Brady a little late addition.
He was holding out back then, yeah. But, no, unbelievable. Like, seeing Timmy rip around and all these guys like Chabot, like, holy. It just shows you a bit of draws a line of where you got to get to. Yeah. Obviously, maybe not as good as Tim Stützle, but somewhere up there. So he's unbelievable. Norris, Batherson, all these guys you look up to, and you want to try to figure out what makes them so successful and see what their off ice habits are and on the ice, and see how they handle themselves as pros. So that's where I'm trying to get to. So they're great examples, and it's unbelievable to learn from them and watch them.
Something that I think is pretty cool about it is all three of those guys on the top line, Norris, Batherson, Tkachuk, they all took such different paths to the NHL, right? Yep. Brady goes one right away, obviously 4th overall pick. Norris has 1 year in the AHL, wins it Rookie of the Year. Is that good? And then Batherson, he was an overage draft pick, then plays 2 years in the AHL. So you just can see all these different ways coming together. It doesn't matter where you're picked, It's how you put in the work afterwards.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter what happens. After you're picked is, it's your whatever you have to do to get to that level. So, some guys, I don't know, there's probably guys that have taken 10 years to get to the NHL, but they're there now. So, you just got to figure out what your route is going to be. And, I don't know what mine is yet, but I'm going to get there. That's my goal one day. So we'll see what that is. But it's pretty crazy seeing the different ways that guys take, but they're all there eventually. So it just props to them.
Well, your route took a different stop this year. Did you know you were going to get traded? What was that situation like?
No, I had no idea. I was injured for when I got traded, but so I hadn't played the last few games, and so I was just kind of a bit of a shocker. Like, obviously you're close to a lot of guys there, and but at the end of the day, it's a business, and coming to PA has been unbelievable. The guys here are awesome, and coaches are awesome, and it's been a good change of scenery, honestly, for me as a player too. It's been awesome so far. I really like it here.
Yeah, I mean, tough not to like it when you get there and you go on an 8-game point streak and you got 11 points in 10 games. So now, obviously, going from a team like Edmonton, the dynamics there and where you fit into the team, then heading to Prince Albert, things are going to shift. So how has the shift in your role with this new team now really helped your play?
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird start with Edmonton this year. We had some scoring trouble at the start of the season. We weren't getting anything done really. We were winning games, but it was like 2-1, 1-0, stuff like that. So I started off like no points in 5 games, which is obviously, you want to get points, but sometimes it doesn't go your way. So pucks weren't bouncing my way at the start. I was still playing okay, but and I went on a bit of a heater in Edmonton. Got, I think 6 goals in 7 games or something like that. And then I broke my finger and had some rib issues, and I kept playing through it. So I struggled a bit with the last 5-6 games. And so getting to PA, had a bit of time off before that, just completely healthy, coming back, feeling good. And starting to produce again is what I expect myself to do. I think what I should have been doing all year. But yeah, I just want to continue on like this now, and it should be good finish the season, fighting for a playoff spot here. So it's important.
That's awesome. Now let's take you back, at least mentally, to the NHL Draft interview process. I'm Ross Levitan. That's Brandon Piller. We're here with the team Locked On. How would you describe yourself as a player, Carson?
Yeah, I'm a hardworking player. I skate. I think pretty well for my size too. I'm a bigger guy, 6'1", way decent. But I move around the ice really well. I think I see the play really well. I got a good shot. I like to pass a bit more though than I actually like to shoot. I like finding guys, setting up plays. So I got a bit of a mixed bag of tools. So I can play up and down the lineup too. So I think that's something that's going for me well. I can play fourth line, third line, first line. I can play power play, play penalty kill, whatever you need me to do. So I think whatever team that has me, I can fill any role. So that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, and we're stoked to have you with the Sens, and we were stoked when we saw your name called when you're drafted. And so, what are some things that you're looking to improve on then going forward this season?
Yeah, consistency I think is a big thing.
Fair.
Especially as a young player, I think it's important that you bring it same every night. Continue to work on my shot, shooting, decisions with the puck. All the time, making good plays. You're not going to make a good play every time, but you got to do it more often than not. Playing well in my D zone, something I've been working on a lot the last couple of years, which has gotten a lot better. So, you got to get it, work on everything if I'm going to be in the NHL. So a little bit of everything, but making progress though. So it's good.
All right, Pills. Yeah, I think I like this guy. I think we should pick him.
Yeah, it seems good.
All right,
yeah,
cool.
Good, better.
Yeah, good. Sounds like he's good in the room too. Good teammate. Just wants the boys to do well. Keeps it light. Has a good time. I mean, he likes the neon jerseys, which is wild. But at least soon we'll get him in some red, black, and white. Some nice tunic here. That's a solid look for him for sure. Lats, really appreciate doing this right before your birthday as well. I know it's going to be stuck in a room for the next few days, but once you get out, my final question, you just got your 19th point of the season. That's the most you put up in a dub season so far. What's the goals for this year? Obviously a playoff push, but after that?
Goals for this year. I think want to be continue on with the point production I'm doing right now with PA. So try to do that for the rest of the season, and then obviously my goal is to sign with Ottawa this summer, hopefully. So, but it takes a lot to do that. So I gotta keep playing well and working on my game. So.
I lied, by the way. I got another question. I'm actually just curious about this. Who's a player growing up, whether it's from the Canucks or otherwise, where you're like, all right, maybe this is a style of player I want to be like?
Well, the guy I was a huge fan of, actually, who I tried to play like when I was younger, even, was a guy like Rick Nash. Honestly, awesome. underrated player, I think.
Yeah, you said
when I was telling you earlier about my birthdays I would go to.
Yeah,
I always try to go to the Columbus, Vancouver. I was a huge Rick Nash fan. So he was a big guy, good hands, just disgusting. So that guy I tried to play like, and I can play a bit more like him now. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Carson. And last question for me is, have you maybe been able to watch much Sens hockey this season? And who are some of the guys on the team that have you've really loved watching and are excited to hopefully one day get a chance to play with?
Oh, just love watching Batherson, Norris, Kachuk. That line's unreal.
Incredible, that chemistry, eh?
Jimmy Stu at center ice, or center now. So
yes, sir.
Yeah, pretty nasty. Obviously, Shabbat is just I put him on the Olympic team. Am I right?
Holy. Yeah, top 4. Talk about we're here for the pandering. Let's go, keep it up. Matt Murray's gonna be Vezina next year too, or what?
Probably, honestly.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, no, it's an exciting team to watch. Every chance I get to watch them is I take it, and they're super exciting team, and I'm excited for their future, and I hope to be a part of it. So
my final question, and I don't know if you have figured out this podcast trick where I say final question, then Pilsy does the way we double down. Yeah, tricks of the trade, buddy. Let's go. You'll figure it out. By the way, number 78, that's not bad for a training camp number.
No,
all right.
I didn't mind it. It was okay. Different. I've never had that high of a number before. So
no,
no, I'm usually
17. Is that your number one choice? Is there a reason behind it?
I used 17 when I was super young. So I don't know. Not really a huge like superstitious number guy, but I like the nines. I like the sevens, 17, 19, 9. I like all those numbers, but I'm not too picky on it. Like 78 was pretty cool. Had a 7 in there, so I didn't mind it.
Did you get to keep that jersey?
No, I have a draft one with me. But
okay, nice.
It's at my house now, back in Vancouver.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I got one of those, so.
This is gonna be the real decider whether or not we know your style. Like I'm still torn. The whole neon thing's still kind of getting in my head.
Messing with you.
2D over 3D, right? The old Sens logo, like they upgraded by going to the 2D, right?
I like their new logo. I do.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
Who was it,
So
Pilsy,
clean.
that we had on that preferred the old one?
I don't know. I've
Shifty.
forgotten.
Shifty.
Yeah. Oh, Shifty. Yeah. Joey DeCord's helmet designer.
This guy's supposed to be a designer. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's just a long-standing feud I have with the organization. But hey, we're excited to have you as a part of it. Drafted 1, 2, 3. Like you could say I was first, second, third, right? 123rd overall in 2021.
That's pretty cool.
1, 2, 3 in the 4th round. Not bad.
Hey,
1, 2, 3, 4. I like it.
Yeah.
This guy has got it figured out. Math guy, Billsy. Carson, appreciate you doing this. Stay healthy. We can't wait to see you back out. Well, out of that room first thing and then back on the ice afterwards. And we know you're going to have a hot finish of the season now in PA. So thanks again for doing this. I'm sure we'll talk down the road as well.
Thanks so much, guys, for having me. Love the show.
Stick taps to Latimer for joining us. Lat's an absolute beauty. Perfect Wednesday guest, Pilsy? Ton of energy.
Oh, yeah. Ton of energy to get you through the middle of the week. And hey, Ross, not like Carson Latimer needs the extra energy, but if he wants to keep what he's got going with Prince Albert, a good way to keep up that strength and that energy is Built Bar, the protein bar that tastes like a candy bar. And look, the best way to try this out, guys, head to built.com. Try the mix box. We promise you will not be unsatisfied. There's so many different amazing flavors to choose from, some with nuts, some without nuts. But you chocolate lovers, every single protein bar is covered in 100% chocolate. And they're full of the things that you want, high in protein, high in fiber. But you don't want all those calories. You don't want all that sugar. It's the protein bar that tastes like a candy bar. And the sweetest part of the deal is you can go to built.com, use our promo code LOCKED15. That's going to get you 15% off your next order. So not only are you getting to try these delicious protein bars, but you're going to get a bit of a deal as well. So go today, built.com. Promo code LOCK15 for 15% off your next order. It's Built Bar, the protein bar that tastes like a candy bar.
All right, Pilsy. So I want to get into those stories from The Athletic quickly. But before we touch on that, we mentioned Tim Stützle entering COVID protocol, and that leaves only 4 Ottawa Senators who have not yet been placed in protocol. Can you name them? Back to another episode of Trivia on LOSP.
Well, first, Brandon Piller, not a doctor. I have not been keeping medical stats and records for these players, so this is just a random guess. But I know Brady is one.
Correct.
I know Zub is one.
Correct.
And the other two got to be a little more difficult. I'm going to say, Gaudette. I don't think Gaudette's been on there. And this last one is stumping me. Is it a recent call-up? Brandstrom?
Yes, it is. Eric Brandstrom. 4 for 4, Pilsy.
Trivia
You're on
King.
an absolute heater right now. And what's interesting is Brandstrom started last season on COVID protocol, and Gaudette was a part of the Vancouver Canucks outbreak last year as well. So not that these guys haven't had COVID, but this season, and we know that once a player tests positive, they are free from testing for 90 days following that result. Okay, Pilsy, The Athletic. Before we touch on Corey Pronman, though, our great friend Scott Wheeler has started his 32-team countdown of their organizational prospect pool rankings. So far, the Senators have not appeared, but today is going to be team number 30. Where do you think he's going to have the Ottawa Senators?
Nowhere near 30. I mean,
I don't know.
What were they last year? Do you remember? Like 10 or something?
I think
Somewhere
it was
around
10.
there.
I
Yeah.
think it was 10.
I can see them being around there again, maybe a little lower. As Scott Wheeler definitely did not like the 2021 draft for the Ottawa Senators, so I don't think that'll boost their stock. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens when he posts that article.
I think he's going to prove a point and just move them down a few extra spots. I'm going to say he's going to have Ottawa at 20th.
No way. If it's below 15, then that's... Well, I mean, it's tough for us to say because, like, I don't know the Columbus Blue Jackets prospect pool, so it's tough to put it up against, but it can't be 20th. There's no way.
He doesn't like Ridley Gregg very much. Outside of Jake Sanderson, like, I think he's going to say that it's bad.
We'll see, I guess.
We'll see.
I don't know.
All right.
We can get mad at lists. You're excited to get mad at this list. There you go.
Stay tuned for that. I think that's a good time. We'll invite Scott. We'll see if he wants to come back on the show. And if he does, then we'll have a chat with him when the Senators are released. Because obviously we love The Athletic. Great site. We use it a lot. And of course, friend of the show, Ian Mendez, is there. So who doesn't love that? That being said, I actually really liked this article this morning from Corey Pronman. So let's get into it a little bit more. I wish that he broke it down for who has the most players. Like, I've got the condensed list here, but I feel like Ottawa had to have done well because there's 7 Ottawa Senators on his top 160. Well, they're all in the top 130, though. None in the bottom 29, as Ridley comes in at 131st. And you might think that sounds low, but remember, these are all the best U23 players in the National Hockey League and outside of it. So you already have, like, what, the top 50, it seemed, was littered with players who are already full-time NHLers.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, as always, when you're looking at lists, guys, look at the precursor article explaining what the list is ranking and what the parameters are for who can be included here before you get mad. Once you do that, then you go ahead and get mad.
I think it's fair for Sens fans to look at this list, though, and not see a single one of their 2021 draft picks.
Yeah.
Let's go from the bottom up, though. If you're looking for the Ottawa Senators, 131st, Ridley Gregg. He's in a tier here, tier 6, that has other players like Joe Veleno, like Matthew Nyes, like Philip Hedl, Ryan Merkley, and Sebastian Casa, a little bit lower than I think many would have expected the top goalie from this past draft in here. But that's where Ridley Gregg is. And then you have to scroll quite a ways up because Alex Formenton comes in at number 62. Pilsy, one spot ahead of Jesperi Kotkaniemi.
Yeah, you love to see that. Yeah, that's what I found myself guilty of, Ross, is as soon as I would find a Sens player, I'm like, all right, where's a contentional pick somewhere near him that they've surpassed or didn't surpass that they should have. So that's fun to see Kotkaniemi and Formenton at the same place there.
How about Formenton ahead of Cole Caulfield? Cole Caulfield at 79 on this list. Formenton at 62. And oh my God, there's Shane Pinto right ahead of him at 59. And Corey Pronman made note that Pinto's ranking did not change because, of course, not much sample size in this season. Although Dorian pointed out on 1200 as well, like, this kid played 20 minutes a game when he was in the lineup. So Pinto,
he's a top 6 center. Yeah,
still higher on my list. Scrolling all the way up to number 23. And I thought initially, I was like, wow, Norris at 23, that could be a little low. But then you look at the players he's surrounded by and you're like, okay, right. I keep forgetting this list is an elite list with all the top end players that most lists would have had graduated when you're looking at prospects. But Norris is right between Kirby Doc and Mason McTavish, 2 unbelievable talents. So Norris at 23, Jake Sanderson at 17, no wheels. It's not as a top prospect. 17th overall under 23, 1 spot behind Lafreniere, which brings me to the fact that it goes in terms of 2020 draft. He's got Lucas Raymond 3, Stützle 11, Lafreniere 16, and Byfield 21. That was pretty interesting as the draft that's only 18 months away or past.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was definitely interesting. And I think, I feel like any top 5 can kind of be interchangeable within the few first years, right? I think it's after year 3 that you really get a sense of where these guys are. And probably with Lucas Raymond, a bit of recency biasy. Like, this guy came into the league absolutely on fire, so he's going to get a boost from that. But we'll see how he can get through a full NHL season. Like, I think a lot of the rookies, like the back half of the season, we saw with Timmy, and he even mentioned it, like, you just get tired because you're not used to this grueling schedule that you've got to go through here. So very interesting to see where things are this early.
Tim Stützle, 11th overall on this list. Brady Tkachuk, the top Senator, at 10. How many teams, again, final trivia for you today, Pillsy, and it's not even trivia so much as it's just wondering because it's a subjective list here by Corey Pronman, but how many teams do you think have 2 prospects ahead of where the Senators' top 2 rank, of course, being back-to-back at 10 and 11?
Well, I know Detroit, Raymond Seider.
Yes, they've got Seider at 6, so they've got 3 and 6 for Detroit. There's one other team.
Vancouver.
No, Vancouver's got Hughes at 5, and then they've got to go all the way down. No other Canuck for a while on here.
Yeah, I'm stumped. Who's the other team then?
The Buffalo Sabres with a couple first overall picks there in Rasmus Dahlin and Owen Power. But
fair. They've got a lot of players on this list.
Yeah, no doubt. Carolina's the closest next because Svechnikov is the number 1 player on this list. Number 1, Andrei Svechnikov. It goes Svechnikov, Hughes, Raymond Zegras, and then Quinn Hughes. So 2 Hugheses in the top 5. Pretty impressive that in itself. But so Svechnikov 1, and then Martin Neskash at 13. So yeah, that's another. There's a list to get mad at as we're going on here. 12 days without an Ottawa Senators game, and almost a month. I think 24 days since they last scored a goal, which is just something you have to shake your head at, Pillsy. But great interview with Carson Latimer. I mentioned if you haven't already, please subscribe on the YouTube channel and hit that thumbs up, that like button. It goes a long way with the algorithm. Please hit us up on Twitter as well at Sens Central. We've got a little list here of people to get to for Sens Central citizens, but if you're ever interested, hit us up in the DMs there, and we'll make sure to make that happen. Anything else
Ross,
for you,
yeah, I got one more thing. We have Senators hockey today, though. Belleville plays the Marlies at 3 today. That's a game I'm definitely going to tune into because, like I keep saying, these are going to be such important games, and it'd be interesting to see if Philly franchise gets a start here. Probably not, but definitely going to be interesting to see how this game plays out. So it's nice to get some Sens hockey still going here.
Follow along on Twitter. We'll update that game as it goes along. And again, programming note, we'll be recording around noon Eastern time tomorrow. But for today, we say goodbye. Thanks so much for listening. For Brandon Piller, I'm Ross Levitan. This has been the Locked On Senators podcast, your team every day.